In this week's parasha, Shevet, Gad, and Reuven decided that they will stay in this side of the Yarden, and they're not going to go the rest of Klal Yisrael and go fight to get Eretz Yisrael. Which Moshe Rabbeinu said to them that, how are you going to stay over here when your brothers are going to go fight in Eretz Yisrael? The question is, what was Moshe Rabbeinu's complaint to Shevet, Gad, and Reuven? If they weren't going to live in Eretz Yisrael, if they were going to live in Evar Yarden, why would this be necessary for them to go fight as well? So yes, their brothers should go and fight and they should stay here. What was Moshe Rabbeinu's problem? Let's answer this with the following story which the Medrash tells over. There was a man with two heads who married a woman who had one head. And they gave birth to two children. One of them had two heads and one had one head. When his father died, these two children had an argument, how much Yerusha should they get? The one with one head said we should just have 50-50. The other one said, excuse me, I've got two heads. I should get 2/3 and you should get 1/3. They couldn't resolve this argument, so they went to the wisest person who ever lived, to Shlomo HaMelech. The two children came along, they asked Shlomo HaMelech the question, and straight away he had the answer. He took the child with two heads, he covered one of his heads, and the other head, he poured boiling hot water on it. And his head, which was covered, started screaming. And Shlomo HaMelech said to him, obviously you're one person. If your first head can feel the pain of the second head, obviously you're just one person with two heads. This is a metaphor to what Klal Yisrael is. We're not loads of separate people. We're one body with loads of different heads. We're all connected. We're all part of one unit. And this is what Moshe Rabbeinu was trying to tell Shevet, Gad, and Reuven. Maybe you can stay on Evar Yarden. Maybe you don't need to fight because you're not going to live there. But you won't be able to enjoy yourself. You won't be able to be at rest to know that your brothers are on the other side of the Yarden fighting. How could you stay here when your brothers will be on the other side of the Yarden fighting? And this is what Moshe Rabbeinu was telling them. You might have a right that you don't need to go over. You don't need to go because you're not going to live there. But because Klal Yisrael is all connected, we're one unit. The pain which your brothers will be going through during the war, you'll be able to feel it as well. So you might as well go along and help them. I think this message is extra appropriate for the 3 weeks, the time when the Beis Mikdash was destroyed because Klal Yisrael didn't get along with one another. If we would realize that we're not separate people, we might have different heads, but we have the same body. Klal Yisrael is one group. We are one. And if we realize this, we'll be able to get along with each other so much better. Because if we hurt our friend, we are literally hurting ourselves. So this is what we always have to remember, that we're one group. We have to get along because we don't want to hurt ourselves. You should all have an amazing Shabbos.